Hi, welcome. Good morning, and thanks for tuning in. I'm joined today by Marcia Gebarowski with Ann Arbor Spark. Welcome, Marcia.
Hi, thanks Janelle for having me again.
Absolutely, I love it. It's been really nice to kind of have these quarterly check-ins with you.
So.
And you bring a lot of good information to our listeners. So we're excited to have you back.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about something a little bit different today.
Yeah.
So we'll jump right in, and we've actually had a guest on a few weeks ago to talk a little bit about what we're calling our Howell Area Chamber of Commerce Edge Groups. So if you could share just a little bit of your experience with the Howell Chamber Edge Groups and kind of how it came to fruition.
So the Edge Groups has been a very interesting program thought of by the Howell Chamber and the Path Forward Committee that encompasses a committee of the Board of Directors. And there was, so I believe EDGE is an acronym, so forgive me if I believe it's Engage, Develop, Grow, and Embrace.
Excel. You
Okay.
were so good though, that was great.
Maybe it's another E somewhere, because I'm like, anyways. So there's small groups of businesses and local leaders that kind of share something in common. And so I was asked to be a moderator of one of these small groups. And so my group focuses on staffing and talent. And so it is a small group. We meet once a month. And as the moderator, I did get to choose that we could meet virtually so that we could always have that core group of people. But it's just always been an opportunity for really good resource sharing when you're in a small group. The Howell Chamber is a very large organization. So when you have an opportunity to bring it into a small group and maybe some thought-provoking questions in a moderated form, ideas come out, and conversations really do help other businesses or other like-minded people with something in common. And so I've had 2, I believe, meetings so far with the staffing and talent small group, and we've talked about how the work from home policies have changed and what it has looked like in different industries, what workspace, how that has changed. And we have a combination of manufacturers, we have third-party staffing agencies, we have consultants, and so they all kind of bring a different piece of their worlds into the conversation. And just recently we had a new member join us at our last meeting, and she just asked so many questions, and it just became a platform of her learning. And it was great because that's only strengthening another Livingston business. So that, in my nutshell, is what our Edge Groups are.
Absolutely, I love that. It's so interesting to hear, as a moderator, your perspective, and we actually had another moderator on a few weeks ago, and her perspective, but I think at the end of the day, I mean, you guys both hit on the same common themes, and it is about the kind of that professional growth.
Correct.
And it's really amazing when you can engage with your peers in that way. Now, you also mentioned a lot of hot topics and hot discussion points. Now, employment and staffing in general is really a huge hot topic right now and a sticking point with many employers.
Yeah,
so I could only imagine how that's really, kind of engaged your group right from the beginning.
It really has.
What are some other pieces or other hot points or things that you guys are looking forward to discussing moving forward?
What has come out, and I think will be another theme, is that the employers, as we continue to talk about different aspects of staffing and talent, they're going to want to know the resources. And in economic development, that's my world. I do try to connect our businesses with resources. And so these are takeaways that, as a moderator, I can bring back to the organization, to either Spark and working collaborative with the Chamber, to say, well, here are some ideas, or here are the needs. Do we have resources that we can make these referrals to? And if it's needed in my group, what can we advocate and what can we share with the entire organization and all membership? So it's giving me that platform as well to understand, do we have a resource? Can I find it? Because that's what I like to do on a daily basis. Or do we need to create something? Do we need to dig a little deeper?
Is there a gap? Yeah.
Is there a gap? Exactly. And we're good at filling those too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's so exciting to hear you talk about that, because I think that again, you hit on a really valuable point there, is that, maybe the small group is experiencing something that they need a resource for, or that there is a need, and we need to figure out how we can support that. They're giving us that insight as well from both the Spark side and the Chamber side, to see, they're likely not the only ones experiencing this. So
And
how
that's
can we
why-
support?
That's why I love the small groups. I really, really do. So I do believe that was a good outcome and activity from the Path Forward committee.
Yeah, so it's been great, and we're really looking forward to seeing these groups nurture and grow, and seeing what some of the outcomes are. So why should somebody get involved in one of these EDGE groups? I know we've hit on many points today, but if you were kind of having a casual conversation, how would somebody go about getting involved, and why would you encourage them to make the time for it? It's 1 hour a month?
It's 1 hour a month. I do believe that it's always great to just, put a conversation out there. It's the personal growth, or even just the satisfaction of knowing that you are among like-minded people. There's never going to be a wrong answer. You're never not going to say something that isn't going to be listened to with, real people that really want to help. And it really is a good support opportunity for any business to be a part of. So there's the venting aspect too, which is very normal, and this allows for that to happen, and I really do allow that to happen the first few minutes. Just, let's vent. You can vent to me. It's okay. Everybody has their frustrations, and you shouldn't keep that in. So yeah, and you just have to reach out to you, Janelle.
Yes, absolutely. We can get them connected and get you tied into one of these groups. And I mean, you're so right, Marcia. I think it just from a standpoint of discussing your frustrations and getting that off your chest is huge, especially in today's times, more so now than ever before. And so I think that is a huge benefit of this, but also just having a group to serve as your sounding board. And that's what it is. Really developing relationships within that small network, to sit there and say, oh, I know I can reach out to so-and-so and they'll have a good answer for me, even in between meetings. So really cultivating those meaningful relationships.
Absolutely. And that's why we've got those, my group is the talent and staffing. And we have the small business, and we have the nonprofit. So we have multiple groups that anybody would be able to, basically pick and choose which one would fit them. So
absolutely. So when do you guys, I know you said you meet once a month, but what does your typical meeting schedule look like aside from this month? And and again, I said, does somebody can contact me, I'm happy to. You can contact me directly or Marcia directly about getting involved and engaged. But what does your schedule look like?
So the Staffing and Talent Small Group meets the first Thursday of every month virtually at 9 a.m. And I really do, we do take that hour, and so I'm very conscious of the time. And we're usually really good at wrapping up within the hour, and then there's usually follow-up, but I've already started to see emails go back and forth among a few of the members. So again, it's nurturing those connections, and it's growing legs.
Well, thank you so much for taking the time to moderate this group and working with them to help connect them with each other and the resources that we have available for filling those needs as well. So we really appreciate that. So we have a little bit of time left, and I would love it if you could share an update on your end. So what's going on with Ann Arbor Spark and the EDC?
Right. So the Economic Development Council, we just wrapped up our annual meeting a couple weeks ago. And we had a really good panel discussion, again, on talent and retaining talent in troubled times. It was recorded, and so that recorded panel discussion can be found on our website, annarborusa.org. We do have a virtual event for, it's called our Tech Homecoming. It's typically like that night before Thanksgiving, big event, and allowing employers to meet with young people that might be in the job market coming home for the holidays. We're making this virtual. It is December 8th. So anybody that wants to connect or just see what job opportunities are in the region, there is a link again on our events page at annarborusa.org. And then for our employers, again, I do want to promote our My STEM Forward internship reimbursement program that Spark does administer. It is a grant funding internships with our employers and in the areas of STEM, so science, tech, engineering, and math, I believe.
Yes.
It is a really great program that we can connect any college student to any employer in the state, and would love to see more employers, if they have the bandwidth and could use an intern, that connect with me, and let's see if this is a good fit for them.
Yeah, absolutely. So through that program, the business would be provided with financial support to bring on interns, or?
Correct.
Okay.
So the intern would actually become an employer of Spark, and there would just be a reimbursement to the employer for the wages. And this is a year-round program, so it doesn't have to be just a summer intern. It can be an internship at any time of the year.
Do we currently have businesses in Livingston County participating?
I think there are some businesses in the queue waiting for that match of an intern. So, yep, some of our larger employers are in the queue for it.
And where's the intern pool? Is it?
So the intern pool is statewide. So we've got community colleges across the state, universities across the state, and really, if a student lives in California but they're at Eastern or Lansing Community College, so even if they're out of state but attending a Michigan college or university, they're eligible.
So what an incredible opportunity to bring in a little bit of diversity of thought. I mean, you've got
Correct.
a really a great opportunity to just kind of bring in that outside perspective, especially from a young and growing mind.
Right.
Really could be advantageous for a lot of our employers here in Livingston County, and then on top of it, be reimbursed for their wages. It feels like a win-win all the way around.
And then we also hope that it keeps our talent
Local.
Here in Michigan and keeps it local. So that really is the overall goal of the program statewide.
Absolutely. Well, really, really cool. So anything on the horizon for 2022?
2022. So it's going to be the year of telling the story through more data. And we will be updating our benchmark report for Livingston County. It was done in 2018. So it'll be 4 years. We're going to have that redone and just updated. Where do we stand population-wise? Where do we have where can we see gaps? Where do we, who are our competitors in the region and across the country? So it really helps us poise Livingston County for those attraction projects.
That's exciting. When will we could see results on that? As early as mid-year, or at the end of the year?
Beginning of Q2 next year.
Fantastic. Well, Marcia, it's always a pleasure having you on. Thank you so much for joining us and sharing the great information and all of the work that you do. And we will definitely have you back again. So
I love it.
All right. Thanks again.
Thanks.